What's going on, guys? We're back again with another free play video. Yesterday, I posted a video for the CFL, the Canadian Football League, and it's currently going on right now. It just started about an hour ago. I just checked the stats, and it's looking pretty good. I might throw it on the TV right now, but just wanted to throw in another free play for tomorrow, and we're going to keep it in the CFL because as long as the CFL is on and we can watch football, I'm going to be making plays for it. So we can jump right into that. The play for Thursday, it did not hit. The quarterback got hurt, so he finished with about 90 yards. So that was a bummer. I wish it would have got refunded or something, but it is what it is. So let's get into this play. Scroll all the way to the right. It's the last tab on Prize Picks. If you've never bet on CFL today and this is your first video watching this, and then there's a little bit of a bummer. Tomorrow's game, they don't have Toronto's quarterback listed. So they just have Winnipeg's quarterback listed. And the reason for this is Toronto, they've been really back and forth with their quarterbacks. It seems like they're having an issue with their starters. I can't remember what the usual starter's name is, but man, he doesn't usually put more than 150 yards up or something like that. And I just know that if you go through their the stats for the last couple of weeks, that it seems like they play two quarterbacks every game because they're just trying to get a feel for someone. So I think that's why it's not on Prize Picks, but it's okay. We will go ahead and just pair it with one of these Sunday games, and then tomorrow we can just do a full play for Sunday. So let's get started. We have Zach Collaros, and I actually bet on him last week. I took his unders, and that bet hit. I could probably pull it up right here. Here's some of the wins. Yeah, you can see right here. It was a close one, but I did Zach Collaros and Nick Dempsey less, and those both hit along with the overs on the other team. So that was a fun one. But this week I was just looking at, their matchups. I was looking at their game logs, and I think I'm going to go ahead and take the unders again just because Toronto, although they're not the best team, I think they're 3-3. They're definitely not an offensive team. They're definitely a defensive team, and I think that's how they're winning these games. They're just barely getting by because their defense is holding strong. So if you look at Toronto, like I said, the quarterbacks, they're only putting up, games that are below 200 yards, very low yardage, where in the CFL, usually they're putting up 300-400 yards a game. So I am going to take the under just because I think that both these teams aren't the best. I think they're more defensive teams. I don't think there's going to be a lot of action in this game. And yeah, I feel confident with the under here. We can look at it. His line is set at 268.5. I have his game log up here. This is the quarterback. Scroll down. Passing, so 268.5. Barely got it in week 2. Struggled week 1, struggled week 3. Got 55 yards in week 4. Don't know what happened there. Seemed like he might have got injured and then didn't play this game, and then came back against Calgary. So that makes sense that he got a little bit of a jump right there. That was his best game, and then back to 266. So right under that line. So I will go ahead and take that under again. I feel pretty confident about that. I think he's going to be more around this range, about in the 240 range against Toronto. And then we have their receivers right here, Nick Dempsey. And this is the guy that I took his under last year, and he actually he went under by 1 yard. So it was a close one. It was for sure, but still came through with it. And then we can come down here to receiving, and I lock that in. And let's go to receiving yards. And it's kind of annoying that they have the receivers for Toronto listed, but they don't have the quarterback. It's super frustrating. But we have Nick Dempsey at 56.5, and then Ontario Wilson at 46.5. So a 10-yard difference. And then we can come down here, 56.5. So didn't hit it there, barely hit it there. Had a pretty good game there, and then didn't hit it the rest of the time except for barely right here. So it seems like he really barely scrapes over that. And if we're going to take the under, let's check out Ontario, who is 10 yards less receiving. So he's at 46.5. And you can see that this game right here, it was also the game that their quarterback had his best game of the season. So obviously he had the best end of this. And so that was kind of, I don't want to say a fluke, but, they had a good game. And this was the only game that he actually hit. So I'm actually going to take his under. It seems like he's definitely not really one of his top receivers. It just kind of threw him on the board because he's been doing decent lately. So I'm going to actually take his under with, I've actually never seen this guy on the board before. That's why I'm kind of curious. So I think that they're just kind of throwing him up there because he got a little action in the last 2 games. So let's take the under there. I don't really want to pair him with Nick Dempsey again. That was a little too close last year, and that's the wide receiver 1. So even if the quarterback gets anywhere near his projection at 268, I just, 100 yards could go to Nick Dempsey. That's his top quarterbacks or his top receiver. So I'm going to do Ontario Wilson there. And then we can go back to the quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell. I've bet a lot on him this year. He's set at 14.5. Pretty good quarterback, honestly. This team is kind of the opposite. I think they're 1-5. They're not the best team, but it's because their defense is not good as opposed to these other teams where they're more defensive heavy and their offense is really, they're more of a high flying offense. So we can go and check his game log just for you real quick. And let's see, 314.5. We'll go back here. And as you can see, I mean, he's getting in the 300s pretty consistently. Had a shitty game last week, but other than that, pretty good. I feel pretty confident taking this going against the other team because he's playing against EDM. And the thing about both these teams is, like I said, they're both very just offensive heavy and not defensive heavy. I think they're both 1-5. So it's a pretty good matchup. And I think it's just going to be an offensive game, and they're probably going to be just going score to score. If you go look on the CFL website, you can see that both these teams, even though they've lost a bunch, they're all almost within 1 score. So they're keeping up with these teams. They just can't get the finish. So I'm going to take their over here, and then on Bo Levi Mitchell. And then for receiving, they have 3 receivers on the board: Keandre Smith, Tim White, and Shamir Bridges. I have been using Shamir Bridges on a lot of my bets. I really like him. I know Tim White was their top receiver at the beginning of the season. He was actually listed in the 70s, almost 80. But he just been not performing very well, and he's been dipping down and down and down. And Shamir Bridges has definitely just taken over that wide receiver 1 spot. So when I'm going to take the over on the quarterback, I'm going to take the wide receiver 1. I know when you're thinking like, oh, but this is a smaller number. Like, I feel better about taking that, but it's a smaller number for a reason because he's not getting as many targets and he's not getting as many yards. And there's just a better chance of the guy with the bigger number because he's going to get more passes. He's going to get more yards, and he's going to be the go-to guy. So we'll take that. I'll lock this in for $20. So we got the Winnipeg 2 going less, and then we got the Hamilton 2 going over. So check that out, lock that in, screenshot however you're watching this, and then I'll go ahead and submit that. Taking a little bit. That's locked in. I'm going to have a couple different plays for this weekend. I don't know if you follow my Instagram or anything. I did do a $5 Friday special today, but obviously YouTube and Instagram are different. So I have a special for y'all right here. Like I showed you, these are just some of the VIP wins from this month. I couldn't fit them all on one screen, but for you guys, if you just use one of these codes on any of these apps, Sleeper and Chalkboard, these are actually the most apps that I use. And I only use PrizePicks for the CFL because it's the only thing it's on. Sleeper and Chalkboard, they have the best lines. They have the best payouts, and they post plays very early. They post them way before PrizePicks. I've showed you before, whenever I do free plays on MLB, I'll actually show you on PrizePicks that they're not even listed. And even if they are listed, they have a much different projection. So you can't even lock most of my plays in with PrizePicks. So if you just download one of these apps, and then I'll throw you on my month of VIP for absolutely free. You just have to download one of these apps and use my code Callie and just drop me a comment below, and I'll reach out to you, and then I can throw you on that VIP month pass. Here's my subscription plans. You can see that month pass is for $199. and you would get that absolutely free. So take advantage of that. And if you don't even want to do that, at least come to my Winnable account. It'll be in the description below. And just join that free plan, and then you can get all my free plays every single day. You don't have to watch these 10-minute long YouTube videos, even though I do appreciate you watching them. But just at least join that free plan, and it's absolutely free. You just have to sign up. And if you want to make the leap, last thing, and you want to buy the year pass of VIP, it gets you through the NFL season, NBA, NHL, Canadian football, college football, WNBA, and UFC. It's listed at $4.99 for the year, but just for you guys, I'm gonna have this promo code up for code YouTube, 50% off, brings it down to a little less than $250. So pretty good deal. If you followed me last year, you know we killed it in NFL. So that's it, guys. Here's that play for you. We locked it in, and hopefully the CFL plays hits tonight. I'm going to go put it on right now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.